Let's talk about the mindset of wellness. This is something that I encounter a lot of issues with my patients with, and especially this week. So, this is top of mind. I was actually supposed to be recording an interview with a guest at this time right now. So, I was ready to go, and she unfortunately had to reschedule. We'll have her on soon still. But I thought, well, why don't I just jump on here still since I was ready to record anyway and talk to you in this free form fashion about something that I see all the time that can be a massive barrier to women achieving the health that they really want. Oftentimes we're having physical symptoms that are getting in the way of our life, but then there can be this sort of hidden piece that we don't focus on, and we latch onto the physical symptoms, the physical aspects of things. And even if that is anxiety, moodiness, things like that, and maybe we know that we're stressed out, quote unquote, big air, obvious air quotes, stress out, whatever that means, right? We're maybe aware of that, but we're missing this little piece of what our mindset is and what we're telling ourselves. Now, our brain is not just a computer where it is all output. It's getting a lot of feedback too. And that back and forth of information also impacts our body and how our symptoms can show up, how things can be possible, what things can be possible for you, for your body, for your health. And one thing that I see really commonly is that we have certain beliefs about ourselves, about our body, about our health that keep us in one certain spot, that keep us stuck, that keep us contained in a certain box. And sometimes we can we can start to make change in our health. Say, for example, losing weight. You start to lose weight, you're starting to feel good, and suddenly you backslide. Seems like out of nowhere, nothing changes. All of a sudden, you just hit a point where you're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm feeling too restricted, whatever. Or it just can be some sort of excuse. Life just happened. I can't do it. And notice what I just said. I can't do it. That might be something that's in your head saying you can't do it. You can't get healthy. You can't lose this weight. And it's not intentional. It's not like you want to keep yourself down. You hate yourself that much that you're trying to keep yourself from success. But it's something that's wired so intensely into your brain, into your chemistry, that it's this dialogue that's happening in the background. And we don't realize how powerful our own voice is with our thinking and our mindset. So imagine you have a best friend, and imagine your best friend was constantly berating you. Like, you are so worthless. You're really fat. You're really ugly. You can't achieve anything good in your life. You're the worst mom. You are the worst person in your field of your work. Imagine how that would make you feel. Like, would you stay friends with that person? Probably not. You'd be like, forget this. This person makes me feel like crap. I don't like feeling that way. Now, think about that, how you talk to yourself. Are you talking to yourself in exactly that same way? You're saying you're worthless, you can't do this. And again, you're not trying to be mean to yourself, but it's this like wiring that, maybe at some point it helped propel you forward. It helped motivate you to do something different. But at a certain point, you're just sitting there with this best friend of yours, yourself, that is belittling you and making you feel like you can't, and literally could be keeping you from doing the thing you want to do. That mindset piece, that dialogue in your head could literally keep you from getting the outcomes that you want, because it is keeping you stuck in this set place. And it might not be obvious, but you will self-sabotage. You will do things unintentionally to keep yourself from achieving your goal. Again, this week I was talking with one of my patients who is an incredible, successful woman, very successful, very, well-spoken and smart and beautiful. And I can see every time I talk to her, we talk a little bit about this mindset piece, because I can see the way that she is talking to herself in the way that she expresses her concerns. It's very focused on a certain body weight, a certain body image. And, this week we even had a conversation about, being the person that you want to be to find another partner. Because part of the things that are triggering her is she wants to find a partner, she wants to start a family. And it's like, well, I want to find someone who is fit also. I need to look my best also. And I was like, but your mindset is a piece of that. Your confidence in yourself will likely outshine any sort of imperfection, which again, like air quotes, there is no perfection. We are all just imperfect human beings. And that's what makes us so beautiful and unique and incredible. So worrying about some of these pieces and focusing on some of these pieces, like, our tummy or, something about our appearance, something about our physical health. Yes, that can make us feel really insecure and that can keep us from showing up. But think about it this way. If you show up anyway and you were incredibly confident anyway, those imperfections literally fade away because people don't actually care. People are not going to look at your tummy and be like, wow, she's incredible. She lights up a room and she makes me feel so good about myself and she's really present. All of these things and like, oh, but she kind of has a tummy pooch, so no thank you. Like, is that even the partner you would want to have, even if that was the case? No. And that's not who we want to be in life. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's not who I want to be in life. I have my own insecurities and they definitely are a lot louder at certain times in my cycle, depending on what's going on in my life. But damn, I don't want to be a kind of person who lets that hold me back. I want to be the kind of person who goes through that and shows up vulnerably, shows up imperfectly. You can hear my voice getting kind of shaky. I'm like emotional right now because this is so this is the core of really, again, what's possible for us. What is success? So oftentimes, if we're a professional in business, we're like, oh, I need to get to this certain point. I need to work hard to this point. And it seems like something that we need to get to. We need to have all this hard work and finally get to. But with the mindset magic piece, you can just decide that that's how I'm showing up now. You know what? I want to be a CEO one day. I'm going to show up as a CEO now. And every decision that I make in my life, I'm going to make as the CEO of my future business or whatever it's going to be. The perfect partner for your future mate or the parent that you want to show up as when life gets crazy, which it will, it always does. I want to show up as this calm, centered, grounded, patient person and act like that now. And that can feel sort of like, okay, so how do we actually do that? The way that we can start doing that is by starting to talk to ourselves in a more kind way, catching ourselves when we're having that internal dialogue. What are you doing? You're worthless. You're never going to get to where you want to be. You're never going to lose this weight. You can't look the certain way you want to look, whatever it is. That, catching those automatic negative thoughts, we call them ants, catching those ants and going, oh, wait, okay, let me hold this up and examine it. Let's see if this is actually true. Is it true that no one loves me? No, I have all these people in my life who show up for me. I can be my true self in front of them and they still love me. Okay, so that's absolutely not true. Let's throw that out. Let's throw that away and let's refocus it. Let's, create a new dialogue that's going to replace that. I am worth love. I am, able to achieve my success that I want to have. I can be successful now. I can show up in my life and create balance, the balance that I want to have. Whatever it is, start to reframe that now. And this is something that you can start right now, today. You can even grab a piece of paper right now if you're somewhere where you can write something down. Grab a piece of paper. Could be like a little just scratch paper or something. Write down all the negative thoughts that tend to come up in your head. All the thoughts, all those thoughts that just, make you feel icky, that are holding you back. And then for each one of those, and maybe even more, write down the reframe. What's actually the truth? What's more reality or what you want to be true? Even if you're like, wow, I don't really feel like, I am doing well in work, for example. Okay, well, what do I want to be true then? I want to be able to show up really presently. I want to have amazing focus. I want to be really energetic. Whatever it is, write that down as it is today, like as if it's the truth and reality today. And destroy the one side of the negative ones, scratch those out, physically rip it up and burn it even. There is ceremony there. You can actually feel a shift with that. And then the ones that are the positive ones, pin up somewhere, write them over and over and over again, put them on, if you're creative, paint them somewhere, whatever, and integrate it into your brain. Put it somewhere where every day you're saying it out loud. You're saying it as truth. You can create like a mantra for yourself, even if it's like a quick mantra, to start to give your brain those positive messages and the messages that you want to believe, that you want to, the way that you want to show up in the world, start making that a reality now. And you will be really surprised with how big a shift this makes. This may sound a little bit woo-woo for some people, right? Mantras and things like that. Okay, whatever. But this is truly powerful. There are a lot of experts out there who, talk about neuroplasticity, the way our brain actually is wired. And this is the case. We create our reality. Reality isn't just some set thing. We can create a reality in our brain. And the magic to making that happen is just starting to tell yourself that, starting to believe it. So give this a try. Feel free to reach out to me if you like this, if you don't like this. I'm all ears if you have opinions on this. But honestly, this is something that I've realized with my experience working with so many women, that this can be a really big sticking point because we are wired, unfortunately, as women, as little girls, to be self-deprecating, to hold ourselves back. Oh, when someone gives you a compliment, for example, I think most of us experience this. Oh, this old thing. Oh, it's just comfy, whatever. I've had it for years. Like, we will say something to avoid getting a compliment. That's crazy, right? We should be able to feel beautiful. We should be able to feel admired. So it's not just you. Unfortunately, we've been wired this way, but we can rewire ourselves. We can rewire our brain. We can create a new reality for ourselves. So try it out. I love you. You are fully deserving of love and all of the things that you dream of. You deserve to feel connected with your body, to feel confident and safe. That is something that you deserve, and I want you to have. So try this out, and I hope it works wonders for you the way it's worked wonders for so many of my patients and myself too.